Hello, Frones here, and welcome to this tiny little episode of the Qeraisha series. I wasn't really planning to do a video today, but then I realized that I just reached 100 subs. So I thought that it'll be worth my time to get a tiny little video out there to show my appreciation. And to give you some content, of course. For those of you who has been subscribing for a long time, you deserve some content, so here we go. So I've poured myself a little glass of celebrational Baileys. I've got my cozy socks on, it's Friday night, so I'm just gonna chill here for a while with you guys and talk about what I've been up to and what we're gonna do in the future here. So, as I said, this is of course the Qeraisha series, and I've been wanting to do that for a while. So as you can see here, what I've done to get back into building into this Qeraisha style, I've been test building a few things that we need for the city. Because as you hopefully know, we have already done a tiny little low class house, we've done a middle class house that turned out to be a bakery, and we've done a high class merchant house. So what we need now for this city is obviously some defensive features mostly. Of course we need lots of different buildings, but what we really need to test build here to get a sense of what the style is looking like is the defensive stuff here. So what I started out with was this tower. So as you can see here, it is quite a simple tower, and that's the thing that I want to emphasize, that sometimes you don't get the most out of your materials and out of your blocks if you just clutter stuff all around and make really complicated shapes and all that. In this case, I felt like a nice simple structure would do the style good. Because these are desert people, and while they are quite advanced, they are also quite, the way they build is really, since it is a defensive build, I'd like it to be quite sturdy, if you know what I mean. So simple as it seems, just starting out with the bottom, we've got this sort of rounded off edges here. And then coming up, it closes in a little bit, gets a little more narrow, more squarish, and then it opens up into this round shape at the bottom. So it creates a nice aesthetic. It's really aesthetic in my opinion, having this sort of curved bottom, narrow square middle piece, and then a curved and round top piece. Really simple structure. So what I did to make this look a little bit more interesting was adding this roof here, which doesn't really, to be honest, it doesn't really have any function. But what it does is that it adds a bit of color, and it adds another shape to this style. It sort of captivates, or I guess that's not the right word, but it sort of it adds to this rounded off shape, this round shape that we've got here, that it's completely square. I think they match each other quite nicely, and then it also corresponds with the roof up here, so you got a nice sense that everything is coming together. Up here I added these red beams, which I find really is the key, the key point of this tower. The center point, I'd say. It really attracts your attention and gives this nice pow-pang feeling that I like to have with this desert style. Excuse me. And then we have the top of the tower here. It's got nice red color again, keeping the shapes, not the shapes really, but keeping the colors, that's what I meant. And in the beginning I had wool here, also quite colorful, but I like these materials since it is a defensive tower. I'd like them to be a little more, what's the word? Well, a little more less able to burn, I guess. A little more sturdy again. Sturdy is the best word I have for it, it seems. But this is quite a nice tower, I find. In the beginning I didn't really like it, but coming back to it now, I feel it fits the theme quite nicely and looks quite alright. And of course we need a wall for the city. We need several walls. And this is the outer wall, I suppose. And the reason why we need all this defense is because of the history of these desert people. They were actually, I think I've told you this before, but if you haven't heard it, they came from a city and they were banned from that city. So they sought refuge out here in the desert. And they made a living out here, so they were used to hiding, used to defend themselves. So they've always been sort of, what do you say, fighting against the powers, fighting against the government, because they were banned from the kingdom back in the days. And now that Qeraisha is the main city, the capital city, they are really at war with Qeraisha, so they need defensive features. They are at war for different cultural and historical and also religious disagreements, I'll say. So that's why we need all these defensive features. And while this wall is quite simple, I try to keep some cohesion, I guess you can call it, if that's the right word. Again, we have bottom part with these pillars, sort of the same as this tower. These pillars are real nice texture, I find. They work nice for this style. Everything, try to keep it sandstone and colorful also. So I have again the red at the top, red pillars at the top. These, what are they called? Let me see, just a moment. Red roof tiles. They are called roof tiles. Yeah, we've got those on the top. And so that's it works for roofing. And in between here we have a really nice texture. It's called dark sandstone, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, dark sandstone. It's a really nice texture. It's sort of rough and dirty and all that, because this is just going to be a defensive wall, and this is gonna make a nice material when it comes to keeping people away in general. So that's the function of a wall, if you didn't know. Well, up here we've got what I did here. This is a smart little trick for you guys. You see that we have the pillars coming up from the bottom here, and you want to keep those pillars going all the way, because then you can make the outer parts here look nice instead of having to cover them up like that, which looks a bit ugly. What you do is just leave it like that, and then on the inside, where you don't want this pillar to be seen, so you put up the barrel here and put some arrows in it, and then it will serve as storage for arrows that they can use to shoot at people. That's what you do with arrows. So everything is making sense here. We've got nice defensive features that we can add to Qeraisha when we start building it in the future, and we are going to do that quite soon, I think. I want to get the Elven videos out to you real soon. I've already done some touring, but I need to compose the music. Hopefully I'll get to that this weekend, and we can get the Elven videos out there. And then I will be back working, probably start the actual planning of Qeraisha soon. But now we've got some defensive features. We've got 100 subscribers. That's great. So cheers and have a good evening. I hope you enjoyed this little show around here. I didn't show you the interior of this, and that is why it haven't really got an interior. But well, it's gotta be standard stuff, right? weapons, arrows, bows, what else? All that stuff. Oh, forgot to hide the chat. And then it says sex dungeon. How inappropriate is that? I am so sorry. Thank you for watching. Have a good night, and thanks a lot to everyone who subscribes to me. It's really appreciated. And I'm glad that you like to follow me in my quest to create this epic Minecraft server. So thank you for watching. Good night, folks.